are so appreciative, Nick, of you volunteering. I know you said Nick from Leon C, who's a video producer when he's not doing this kind of thing, and it's much appreciated. And tell us why you wanted to do this, actually.
Well, I work with Paul. I produce videos for Prost8, Paul's charity, and it sort of really highlighted it for me. So I also would like a sort of a DRE check as well. I had a PSA check about a year ago, and it came up okay, but I don't think that's totally conclusive. So I think having this test today would be beneficial for me.
To explain, DRE is digital rectal examination, and that's why we've got the gloves here.
That's correct.
And Paul, we're going to meet in a moment. So Paul is Nick's mate, and they've both got this connection over
I don't know about that.
The health of the prostate. If you're squeamish about medical examinations, you might want to look away, but we think this is incredibly important not to be embarrassed by, and just to show how quick and straightforward it is. So, Philippa, over to you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to run it through exactly as it would be done in your GP surgery. And so the first thing is that we explain what's happening, which is that we need to examine your prostate. And the way that we do that is with a finger to examine through the back passage. Are you OK with that?
Absolutely fine.
So your doctor should always ask you for consent. And then we would offer you a chaperone as well. And we've discussed that before. And we've got a few thousand people watching us today. OK, so so Nick's already prepared. He's taken off his lower garments, and you would be asked to do that. I've washed my hands, put my glove on, and now I'd like you to just roll over onto your left-hand side and hug your knees up into your bottom.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And if there's any concerns or problems, you let me know. Now, it shouldn't be painful. It might be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm just going to put some cold jelly onto my finger.
Discomfort is the thing here, isn't it, Nick? No more than that.
And you're going to feel some gentle pressure, and let me know if there is any problem at all. So the examination has started now, and I'm just feeling the prostate at the front, and then just checking the rest. And then the doctor, all done, the doctor checks on the glove to check that there's no blood or mucus or stool, wiping your bottom for you, and we are all done.
Wow,
and that
was less than 30 seconds.
Completely normal, soft prostate.
Well, that's the key thing. So what did you feel, Philippa?
So you feel literally, as I said, about the size of a walnut, and it feels sort of rubbery, and you can feel a central dip in it. And that's the sign of a really normal prostate. And everything feels normal, happy to say.
How do you feel about that, Nick?
Fabulous. That was, to be honest with you, that was my main concern, not coming on TV. It was the fact if it was a problem, which it's not, and I'm really grateful for that. It's great.
We had a mention there of Paul by Nick, and that's his friend Paul Sayer, who's here. And you, when you had your examination, it didn't turn out quite so well.
It didn't, no. When I had mine back in 2018, it turned out that there was a lumpiness to the prostate, but I had no symptoms. It was just by pure chance that I ended up, thanks to a nagging friend. So there was a slight lumpiness there. I had a PSA test to follow up on that. From there, further investigations at my local hospital with scans and a biopsy eventually, which found that I had a tumour.
So you had no symptoms, but you had an enlarged prostate?
Apparently, yes. I wasn't aware of that until the examination.
Tell us about your treatment then, Paul.
I was quite fortunate. I was booked for radiotherapy at my local hospital, but found out about a procedure that uses ultrasound. So instead of actually having 5 weeks, 5 days a week of radiotherapy, I was given the option of having a one-day outpatient treatment with an ultrasound machine.
Really?
And what that does, it fires ultrasound, put a probe in your back end, fire the ultrasound at the tumour. Where it meets, it forms a little point of heat. It's a bit like the old magnifying glass with a leaf. And it pecks away. Having now stood in on these since, it's like watching an old-fashioned Space Invaders game. And the surgeon just sits picking away the tumour. And that's it, just the tumour, so no collateral damage. So
that's amazing. Yeah. And what about side effects of the treatment?
Absolutely none. A week with a catheter. I was sitting at my desk working my laptop the day after the procedure, and a week after the catheter came out, and no side effects whatsoever.
But I'm guessing you took out the nagging friend for a nice meal after that.
Very much so, yes.
I won't say he saved your life, but he certainly did you a huge favour.
Yeah. Okay. I think things such as Nick just going ahead and having that checked on live TV, it shows how simple the procedure is. But also with the King's diagnosis and the fact that he's come out and been very open, our inquiries have gone up by 60% in the last fortnight.
That's amazing.
And the good thing is, the men who are coming to us are now being more open.
We were out in the pub one night, and a friend of ours that was dying of leukemia said to John how many times he'd been to the loo that night. and you must go to the doctors. And that's how we went.
Really, really. Oh, thank you, Stevie. It's good advice though, Paul, isn't it?
It really is, yes. There's
Yeah.
no symptoms at all, as in my case. And quite often when the symptoms appear, things are advanced, the treatment options are more aggressive.
Paul's charity, Prost8 UK, on 0203 858 0848 or Prost8, as you can see the spelling there, org.uk.